Hello, welcome to this Crypto Professor update video on Shiba Inu. After I first reported on Shiba Inu back in May 2021, there has been a huge climb in the last month or so. We've had over 1,000% increase in the price of Shiba Inu in the last 30 days, and on a 1 year time frame we're looking at that horrific number there, which is astronomical. So now are a few crypto Shiba Inu whales who bought very, very low and are now very, very much in profit. This analysis video is going to analyze what I think is going to happen over the next couple of weeks going into the new year, and whether or not it's worth continuing to own Shiba Inu or whether you should buy more or sell some, basically. So let's just have a look at the overall picture. So Shiba Inu is now a top 10 cryptocurrency with a market cap of around about $36 billion. Now, this places it, above some other projects like Chainlink, for example, Binance USD. It is a serious contender now for climbing even higher. However, obviously the market cap, in order for it to continue, there would need to be a lot of investment in this particular cryptocurrency. And, depending on where I think the price is likely to ascend to, as I'll say later in this video, we could see it climb, into the 5th or 4th place, even theoretically, if we see the technical analysis play out as I expect to. Now, I am bullish on Shiba Inu for the momentum that it has shown. However, we're going to see a period of volatility over the next few weeks or so. If you've seen an earlier video of mine that I posted this week on Bitcoin, I believe that Bitcoin is likely to sell off before it moves higher. In actual fact, we're down 10% in the last 7 days, whereas Shiba Inu is up 150%. So there is a discrepancy there and a decoupling of Shiba Inu from Bitcoin. Perhaps, potentially, individuals are selling out of Bitcoin at around the all-time high and buying altcoins, which would obviously favor Shiba Inu because of the low price in context with every other price on the top 10 list. So I believe that Bitcoin theoretically could come down to test the low 50,000s, high 48s at a push, in line with my previous analysis in my previous video. And that would have a corresponding effect on other altcoins. Now, the correlation between Shiba Inu and Bitcoin currently stands at 0.61. So for every dollar that it gains or loses, we move 61 cents in Shiba Inu, effectively. Okay, so the market cap, that's talking about the market cap, not the price, obviously, in Satoshi, but the market cap would move 61 cents either way. So for every dollar in the market cap, you'd move 61%. The thing that's concerning me the most is this figure. Okay, so 94% at the current price of holders of Shiba Inu are in profit. So that might mean that if we see some fear, uncertainty, and doubt, which pushes the price psychologically of Bitcoin lower, we could see people taking their profits, basically, and that forcing the price down even further. As you can see, the outlook at the moment, purely on metrics, is either mostly neutral or mostly bullish. There's a slight tendency towards the bullish end, just because we are in an ascending trendline pattern at the moment, which you can see here. So this is the wedge that we have formed. We're climbing at the moment. Ultimately, I believe that the lowest price we're probably going to get without invalidating this bullish trajectory is around about 5,500 Satoshi, around here. Okay, if you're owning Shiba Inu at the moment, it probably won't be worth selling out here and rebuying, just because there's always the possibility that we could restart to test this higher region here. Okay, so ultimately my outlook is bullish. However, due to the period of uncertainty that we're going to be seeing in Bitcoin, we could see some volatility and oscillation around these regions. Obviously, we've already touched the 0.5 retrace, okay, very dramatically after selling off and hitting this peak around this region. We now theoretically could see it come down to the 0.618. However, I don't think we're going to see the 0.786 because that would invalidate this trend line here, and then we have nothing beneath here basically to suggest any bullish momentum. So it either bounces here, and if it breaks 5.5 with conviction, we are then going to be coming down to retest this region here, the 3,000, 2,000 Satoshi region. So where do I think theoretically it could reach in time? Well, let's have a look. We've got the ascent here. The 1.618 is 12,600 Satoshi. Okay, so this is a very, very bullish outlook. Theoretically, we could double again. Now, obviously, that's going to be a little bit complicated and a little bit sophisticated if we see the market cap at the moment. We need this to hit, you know, $70 billion effectively, which theoretically would place it above Cardano and almost in line with Tether. So this is where the prediction of you know, it climbing significantly higher in terms of market capitalization placement comes from. Now, this could happen with the level of momentum that we've already seen, or it could obviously take a while. We could meander around here for a significant period, but if you look at the difference between these two lines, we would need it to kind of happen by the end of the month. We'd have a clear indication as to whether it's going to continue to be bullish or bearish, basically. So the next 3-4 days are really going to decide what happens to Shiba Inu. If it breaks 5,500 Satoshi, we're likely to come down to retest the 2,000 to 3,000 Satoshi region. If it holds, climbs higher, maybe meanders around the 7, 8 or even 9,000 Satoshi region and achieves a new all-time high, then obviously we're going to be continuing up higher and respecting this trend line here and retesting this trend line at some point in the future, which would mean that we hit this 0.618 line here at 12,600. If we start testing this region up here, it might be worth selling out because we may have people going back to the statistics. 94% obviously at the current price are in profit, so that would mean that if we start to retest this upper trend line here, that's going to increase to maybe, you know, 98-99% of individuals being in profit, which, you know, coupled with the Bitcoin fear, uncertainty and doubt that I'm expecting, could see a period of volatility where we tap this line consistently but then have dramatic sell-offs as we are here. Note that on a 4-hour chart we have hit the 21 4-hour mark here, and that is around the 5-6 regions. That's bang on where this trend line is, so we could oscillate and stay around this level before moving on ultimately higher. I've discarded the 54-hour for the moment, just because if we tap that 4-5, for example, we might hit it on volatility. We'll see what happens. It's quite a volatile coin, but if we bounce off that region, the case is still out for a bullish movement. However, it might invalidate this trend line. So if we get to, you know, the 31st of October and we come down to test 4,500, that would suggest to me that we're invalidating the bullish momentum that we've seen over the past couple of weeks. Let's look at some other technical indicators to see where we are. Okay, so on a 4-hour chart, we have an RSI which is just underneath 70. It's at 63 at the moment. Look at that divergence there. We've got a situation where we are tapping at the same RSI. So that's 92, 91, etc. But look at the price difference when that happened. So we were at 4.3 the last time the RSI on a 4-hour chart touched the same level that it did when we were at 8.8. Okay, so that is a powerful maneuver for the price action against the RSI. On the ADX, we are still quite bullish on a 4-hour time frame. We're at 60, and obviously these lines have not crossed yet. We're converging. Okay, so this downward spiral here is actually indicating we might cross over. Let's look at a smaller time frame to see where we are. Okay, so we have crossed over on an hour chart, but then obviously, you know, an hour chart is relatively unreliable in this matter. The RSI, once again, it's at 50, so it's bang in the middle. That's reflecting the ambiguous nature of the price action at the moment, and obviously people are uncertain as to which way it's likely to go. Let's look on a day chart and see where we're at. Okay, supremely bullish at 70, and obviously these lines here are very far apart. So as an indication, on a day chart we're still very bullish. On a 4-hour we're still moderately bullish, and on an hour obviously we have come down to test, and once again that pattern on the RSI is present there. So What would I do if I held Shiba Inu right now? Well, I would wait and see what happens. I would set a sell order, a stop loss, okay, at perhaps 5.3, okay, just underneath this trend line. So if we do see this bullish momentum coalesce and actually end, you at least get out, with double your capital if we start to decline and go down towards the 3,000, 2,000 Satoshi region. But I wouldn't necessarily buy any additional Shiba Inu here unless you're willing to take that risk. Okay, maybe if we get down to 5.5 and hover around this trend line for a significant period, that might be worth entering with a really tight stop loss if you feel the volatility is going to be on your side. We do have, obviously swings, major swings with this token, lots of wicks and that kind of thing. So it might not even be worth setting a stop loss. If you own a Shiba Inu here, then I would obviously keep an eye out and maybe set an alert for the previous all-time high 8.8 and sell some of it in that region, maybe between 7,000 and 8,000 Satoshi if we do start to retest this upper trend line here. But let's keep watching. We'll see what happens with interest. Obviously, the Bitcoin context is going to make this token particularly volatile over the next few days. You can either look to buy more if the price declines down to this trend line here, or sell some if we continue to see higher as we move forward. But ultimately, the overall picture, the flavor of this momentum that's going to continue through this chart over the next few days is mildly bullish in line with what we've already seen. But we theoretically could see some volatility and some entries and exits at good and best prices.